Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and we are back with more Virche Evermore. Going to start Science Route again because... No, I'm just kidding. Listen, it's been a year. It really has, because I finished Science Route last year, and now it's 2025, and, I know for you it's been going into 2025, but it has been fucking 100 years for me since I played. And I was like, where the hell were we? This is why sometimes with games, when you're going different, I keep notes of where I am. Why are you okay, wait a minute, no. Okay, well, Eve's picture on the side there is also tragic. Lucas is a little. Mathis is okay. Science is just sexy. Oh, and then, why is this so tragic and sad? Why? What are you doing? This is, of course, we're gonna do the encore ending. Oh, right. Shh.
黒き災いの花、リコリス・ノワージュが四方を囲う国、アルペシェール。生まれた人間が23歳までに命を落とすこの国は、かつて外界から訪れた漂流者によってこう呼ばれるようになった。死神に見入られた国と。お前が命を絶とうとした雨の夜、久々に本気で怒鳴ったな。でもそれくらいお前のことが大切なんだ。だからお前が信じろと言ったうさんくさい死の番人アンクーとも手を組むことにした。すべてはこの国の呪いを解き、お前を普通の女にするため。お前が俺の命を守りたいと言ってくれたから。だがそんなことを言われる資格はないんだ。ずっと嘘をつき続けていた俺には。
So dramatic.
しかしこの国は、人間の悪意はお前をリコリスの聖女と祭り上げ、生贄にしようと捉えた。自分たちが助かるためならためらわず他人を犠牲にする。本当にこの国は腐ってやがる。俺たちは捕らえられて王城へ連れて行かれ、アンクーも行方不明。研究所で王族どもと手を組んでいたカプシーヌに実験体とされた俺は、こんな形で知られたくなかったのに。
Hey, look, I got there. Well, that's loud as shit. I got there afterward. I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot. We gotta, he's talking. So I cranked up the volume for you. I don't know if I got to do that on the other ones, cranking up the volume. Holy shit, it's loud in my ear because I cranked it up for me, too. But yeah, anyway, it's been forever, so I forgot how to play this game. But we do the encore and then the emotion stuff for everybody. Then we're going to do the drifter route. So we'll do all of... Right, okay. I'm like, I think that's what we were doing. Whatever! We veer wildly off and we do nothing. Yes, because then the interlude stuff is the happy stuff, right? I'm assuming we always the carrot? We're like Adolphe right now? Anyway. What does it mean to be normal? Creating something out of nothing, or loving one woman so wholeheartedly that he could overcome any difficulty. Actually, are we supposed to be... Are we narrating? So would it be Anko who's narrating? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so no, he is talking about someone else. Okay, so there's a narrator. And in the first game, it was... Look, I don't remember, guys. It's been weeks. I told you this was going to happen. I don't remember when it's been like a week. I don't remember when it has been like 3 to 4 weeks since I recorded science stuff. I was seriously coming back. What freaking part do we have to start? Whose route are we on? What game is this? What's my name again? Listen, Okay, but what if he didn't meet any of those conditions? I'm not sure who we're supposed to be. What would this man become who was nothing but ordinary? And what would he lose in the end? I think in the first one, I assumed it was Onko, but without the voice acting, it's kind of hard to tell. But if we had the voice acting on, then I would be reading this myself and we wouldn't be playing these games. So, hey. I felt like a complete outsider living in this country. I'm going to die soon, but I don't have any money, so I'll just let time take its toll. A young woman living near the orphanage accepted death like it was nothing, and died shortly thereafter. I'm home. It took a while, but I'm finally a reliver. A Koen man returned home a few days after his death like nothing happened. They were terrifying. The people of this country treated death as though it meant nothing. I regretted from the bottom of my heart that I ever drifted to a place like this. You regret from the bottom of your heart you ever drifted to a place like this, but I'm here! Oh, look, there's you go. Oh, right. Capucine's not dead. I don't remember which ones he dies in and which ones he doesn't, but like, okay. Indeed, as you might suspect, his secret is he's the second drifter to arrive from the outside world. You know what the good thing about Capucine not being dead is? I do remember this. You know what the good thing is? We can brutally murder him. Because he deserves it. Let's get on with the torture! I'm just saying. Capucine is the perfect person to take out all your... Listen, we've had love interests in other games that I have hated and like whatever. I love Capucine so much because he is the best character to hate. Hate so much. I love that he exists so I can hate him. And all my anger and torture and every little negative emotion you've ever had, you can just like, I'm just going to pull that in and stab you with it. And it feels cathartic. Like, there are love interests I vehemently hate that we get to the point where, like, no, I hate them. I'm angry they exist. I am so I know that there's people that feel that way about Capucine, but I am just happy he exists because I love to hate him. I love hating him. It makes me feel good. I don't know. It's kind of messed up, but I'm just saying. He just makes me so joyous in the thought of stabbing him and brutally injuring. Like, I just want to hurt him. I just want to hurt him. And it should be bad. I should just be like, I want to hurt him because he sucks and him being existing should make me mad. But it doesn't. Because the thought of hurting him makes me giggle. It might be the serial killer in me. I don't know. But like, whatever. I'm going to need to go to therapy. And this is going to be number one on the docket. Is like, no, I'm just so excited that someone so atrocious exists. Even in media. Because I just want to murder him. It'd be so much fun. And we'll have a good time. Well, like have a picnic and everything beforehand. Like, you come here for this unhinged shit, right? I hope so. He was born outside of this country, unaffected by death, which means he's a normal human being. Is Cyan dead in this? Because that's gonna make me sad. I know we're supposed to be about Adolphe, but still. Again, and I don't remember anything that happened in the first game, so this will be a good refresher, I guess. My mind was spinning. I wasn't even sure how much time I needed to fully understand what was happening. Adolphe is the second drifter? A person who came from outside this country? He was so healthy that he never once exhibited symptoms from the curse. He never died, no matter how close he was to me. He told me before I didn't need to bother getting rid of the curse for him. It wasn't because Adolphe was just lucky or possessed unique powers. Technically, he does possess unique powers of having not been born here. Everything was because the curse doesn't affect him? When you look all dramatic like this, it's hot. Adolphe still had his head down and didn't refute Capucine's words. But he was clenching his fists so tightly that I could see the strength that he still had in his body, despite being submerged in toxins. His very state was evidence of what Capucine said was true. So he knew he wouldn't die from the curse, which means you must not actually be 21 years old. Surely your conviction must come from a life longer than 23 years. He's like women who are like, I'm 30 for like the 6th time. He's like, I'm 21. It's like the 4th or 5th time now. Who knows? I've lost count. What does it matter to you? Adolphe finally admitted that Capucine's accusations were true. My assumption is that you hesitated to reveal who she was in order to protect yourself. I'm rather disappointed in you. A stark contrast to Lucas, who sacrificed everything to keep his sister alive. Adolphe's throat tensed up as he heard Capucine's remark. Don't criticize Adolphe! He's protected me as part of his family all my life. Dismissing those feelings is one thing I won't tolerate. Spacey. What do you expect to gain lecturing me about your false family's love for each other? The fact that no one will ever love you? Even when you create a monster? She still doesn't love you. Capucine casually dismissed my anger. Also, you have to create a monster and totally erase any love for her family, because otherwise she's gonna snap and love her brother more than you. That's the sad man. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna lecture you about. Bitch, stab him a little. Make him hurt. Get him in the spleen. Capucine makes me as unhinged as he is. But I don't want to create a monster bride. I just want to make him hurt. Still, even if the curse doesn't affect you and you don't reject that man's cells, this information might be useful. The moment Capucine waved his hand, the royal guard and his followers quickly surrounded us. I was going to use you until you became useless to me, but things are different now. I know you're the second drifter, so I will have you be a test subject for me to see whether gaining eternal youth in life is possible or not. Of course, you might change here and there during testing, but that will prove interesting as well. What? Capucine slapped the handle of his cane into the palm of his hand, satisfied with his plan. In reaction to the noise, Adolphe, who had been keeping quiet, slowly raised his head. A test subject. I doubt you'd give me the option to refuse, but before that, how about we strike a deal, Capucine? A deal? Moving forward, I want you to conduct whatever experiments you were planning for Spacey on me. If you agree, I promise I'll cooperate with all of your experiments without question. Adolphe, what are you saying? You be quiet. Of course I won't. Your conditions are... Hearing me try to stop Adolphe was deliberately misinterpreted by Capucine. Very well. I suppose I can go along with your attempt to buy time for now. I am very curious about how normal humans live. I do hope you will be thorough. Capucine ordered the soldiers to take the princess back to her quarters once her blood had been drawn. Adolphe and I were going to be separated again. I came to my senses and spoke out against it. Wait, Adolphe! Don't just go off on your own! I don't need you to... Listen, Spacey. This is about the only thing I can do for you. Like Capucine said, I don't have a right to call myself your brother. Let me at least do this to apologize to you. Adolphe! But I love you. You can call myself your brother. You can call yourself my brother all you want. Spacey has weird kinks, okay? Before I could tell him anything, the armored soldiers grabbed me by my arm and forced me to stand. They dragged me toward the entrance to the joint laboratory. Are we going to have an Adolphe route where Adolphe's not here? Because that's going to suck a little. As I was taken outside, the door shut right in front of me. Why? Why did he have to apologize? It was true that I was surprised. I was also a little upset he didn't tell me such an important thing sooner. But I had never once thought that you betrayed me. From then on, I was forced to spend my days in a cell, not knowing what was happening to Adolphe. Whenever I asked the guards about his situation, they never answered me. It was 3 days later when a new development occurred in the quiet prison. I heard someone stumble into the cell beside mine. That voice. Adolphe? I was bound by rope, but managed to drag my body toward the bars and call his name. What's the point? Do they really think that my weak ass is going to bust out of here? Spacey, are you hurt? I couldn't see his face, but I could clearly tell from his voice that his body and mind were both exhausted. Don't worry about me. What about you? It was so frustrating to not be able to reach out and tend to him. Don't worry about me. I was sure his body was cut open. I could hear the sound of blood dripping from his body. Once I knew I wouldn't die at 23, I lived my life relying only on how sturdy I was. I'm confident in that about myself. Adolphe, you really aren't from here. You're a normal human, the kind Nadia dreams of. Yeah. Mother knows. She's the one who found me when I washed ashore and raised me. When she learned that I would live past 23, she was surprised, but she agreed to keep it a secret. So how old are you? If I've been keeping track properly since I was a kid, I'm 25 now. That old? I am so sorry for everyone who plays this game who is 25 and having a fucking crisis. Okay, having your quarter life crisis. Seriously?
How many times has Grandma Spacey told you back in her day we had a crisis when we turned 30?
But seriously, I see so many people, like, it's hard enough
being from the good old days, the only days where we had a crisis turning 30,
because, like, 30 was old. Oh my God. You know what I mean? And then the older you get, you're like, oh my God. And everybody thinks you're dead. If you're over the age of, like, 35 in anime, you're basically, like, dead. Like, they draw you like you're like, thanks. Okay, great. Good. Nice to know that, like, I'm, like, the crypt keeper. Awesome. Good. Feel good about myself. You know what I mean? It's hard enough in reality. And then you look at, like, any kind of thing and they're like, oh, old ladies. And you're like, ouch. But, like, at least I grew up not feeling like I was old until I hit 30. And then it was like, okay, I didn't actually have my 30-year crisis. I did. I was like, 30s are going to be the best years of my life. Yeah. Don't know what happened to that because that's not true. But you know what I mean? So, like, I was fully expecting to have that 30-year crisis like most people have, okay? But I just feel very, very fucking bad for everybody in their 20s who literally now is like, oh my God, I'm so old. I can't believe I'm so old at like 25 or 26. And it's like, oh, sweetie, it gets so much motherfucking worse. You should not be having a crisis at 20 fucking 5. You're like a baby. So any of you who are 25 and under, you're like babies. You're sweet, young, fresh-faced little babies. And I don't mean that in like a, oh, you're babies, like a bad way. I mean, like, seriously. You're sweet and young and adorable, and you have squishy, fresh little cheeks that are just boop, boop. You can poke them, and they're going to bounce right back, and they're not going to sag off your face, okay? So, like, you're still young. It's okay. Don't. So, like, the fact that you poor people are having a crisis at 25, and then you play this game that's like, he's like, I'm 25. She's like, that old? I know in the concept of this game world that it's like, people only live to 23, so if you get to 25, it's like, it'd be like, you know, when people are like, you're 116, and you're like, what the shit? Now, you know what I mean? You're like, over 100? Like, people can, but like, you know what I mean? Like, we're in that precipice area where people are in their late 90s. You're like, shit, they're 99. They're going to be 100. That's crazy. That's old. Like, you know what I mean? Because, like, most people don't live to be 100. Okay? You know? So, like, I get it in the scheme of the world, but I also feel like it's sending such a terrible message for the poor people who are already 25 and having a crisis that this game is like, you're fucking old. And they're making you feel worse because they're like, 23 is when you're going to die. And it's like, you know, this is a little rude. Like, shit. You poor things. You poor things. At 23, you shouldn't be like, I'm old. The game called me old. And like, you basically should not be being called decrepit because you're 25 by this game. Like, holy shit. I get it in the context of the game, but like, shit, it's so for real right now. You're like, oh, ouch. I feel bad. Listen, I am old, so I'm used to being called old, and like, I'm still not used to being old. I've been having a crisis for the last 5 years. Okay? But like, every year I keep getting older. I don't mentally, I'm not aging, but my body keeps getting older. And I'm like, I don't. And then my sisters get older than me and I'm watching and I'm like, I'm going to be like that in 20 years? Because mentally I'm regressing backwards and I'm refusing to accept that that's closer than I'd like to be old. I'm already old. But I just can't imagine if I felt this way at 25 and the world was like, oh my God, ew. Seriously? I feel for you. I really do. Damn. It sucks. Anyway, pack that trauma up because you're going to need it in a few years. And then pack that away again because you're going to need the trauma as you get older. You don't need it now at 25. Save it for later. Then it'll be more traumatic. It'll be better. So also, if you need to go take a break and hug a pillow and cry a little because this game just called you an old bitch, I understand. Oh, dear God. I mean, look at Zion. He's 23, but 80 at the same time. That's what I'd like. I'd like to look that hot when I'm 80. Fair. I felt how real Capucine's assertion was after hearing that number. I mean, again, it's not like he's saying he's 35, and even that's not old. But you know what I mean? I understand, like, wow, 35, but 25 is... Oh, dear God, this game. So you were much older than me all along, Adolphe. That's right. So you don't have to worry about me. Huh. I didn't know what he meant. Even if I die here as a test subject, it just means my death, which should have come when I was 23, finally caught up to me. On this stupid hunk of evil rock. But everywhere else, being 25 is like, no, you got a lot of fucking shit left to do, buddy. He sounded calm, but sad at the same time. I felt that he was criticizing himself. I'm sure this is punishment for not helping to uncover all the misfortunes happening around you in order to hide my own identity. Spacey, all that matters is that you're safe. How? I suddenly realized, how can you say that? My body started crying all on its own. Spacey? All you did was protect yourself when you had no one else to rely on, right? I was only fixated on trying to protect my own mind. So I'm at fault too, not being able to notice your suffering. Why do you have to burden yourself alone with everything? I felt so lonely and frustrated. Am I that useless as a part of your family? No, you're not. I knew I shouldn't have said it, but I couldn't stop my rush of emotions. Manipulation. Good job. I hate this. I hate myself and how weak I am, having to rely on you even at a time like this. Instead of putting you through all this suffering, I should have just died back then. I suddenly found myself screaming, taken over by emotions. Oh, that's going to piss him off. Good. I was just the worst. Even when Adolphe was clearly the one in so much pain, I tried to ignore that suffering by thinking only about myself. But I just couldn't bear it anymore. Adolphe keeps talking about himself like an outsider. But at a time like this, I just wanted him to say that he wanted both of us to be saved. If you really hate to see him sacrificing himself, how about you offer your body to protect your precious brother, Princess of the Lycoris? Capucine! Accompanied by some guards, Capucine stood in front of the cells that held me and Adolphe. As Capucine looked at me, I could sense Adolphe's anger rise within him. What do you need from her? You still have more to experiment on with me. Well, I just wanted to come and see how you two were doing as I awaited some results. I then had the privilege of witnessing an adorable spat between siblings, which I just couldn't help but overhear. He was definitely up to something. Seeing my wariness, Capucine raised his brows with amusement. Now that I think of it, I hadn't considered your opinion when I made my deal with Adolphe. That would be simply unfair to you. Siblings should be treated equally without favoritism. What? And this isn't what you promised, Capucine. You better not lay a hand on her. Quiet. I'm talking to her right now. Capucine made his offer, almost as if to test me.
Now then, what will you do, Spacey? If you so wish, you can both share an equal burden of the experimentation.
I'd never let you. Really? Because we're family. Because we're family. It's probably, she keeps talking about family, so I'm guessing it's because we're family. But also, really? Like, really? Are you really telling me the truth, Capucine? They could both work. Yeah, because we're family. Okay. Adolphe, if you still really think of me as family, please let me take on some of your burden. He's like, you're not my family. I don't want to have sex with my sister. Wait, what? Spacey. Brushing off Adolphe's attempts to stop me, I turned to Capucine. If you're going to call me the ruler of the Lycoris, their saint, then treat me accordingly. Girl! All the snaps for that! Sass master! If Adolphe dies from your experiments, I will do everything I can to kill myself before you can use my body.
Oh, I thought you were a weak, timid girl. I didn't expect you could look so bold.
I'm not looking bold, I am bold, bitch! You know what it is? It's just she also wants to stab Capucine with a fork.
Very well. I acknowledge your resolve and will have you both cooperate in my experiments equally.
Capucine gave an order to his guards and opened the door to my cell. Pulled by the rope that bound my hands, I was taken outside of the cell after so many days inside. Wait! Stop, Spacey! Meanwhile, Adolphe was still inside his cell, banging vigorously on the metal bars. Is this going to be the whole route, just us in cells talking back? Because that's depressing. Okay, I know. I got it. I get it. I know. I realized after the words came out of my mouth, that's going to be depressing. Yeah, okay, we're on the depression train. I get it. I know. This is the trauma train game. It's just, I kind of forgot, I'm sorry, Adolphe. I know you're just trying to be kind to me, but I don't want to have to be protected all the time, especially as death. Listen, because I just remember our happy endings with Cyan, minus the kids. Take those kids out. But, sure, whatever. But, and I know that's the emotion kind of endings, and this is just trauma, but, I've blocked all of these out of my mind. I left him behind as he fell silent and walked forward on a path where nothing but destruction awaited me. Well, this one has bad endings, right? I think, so. Yeah. Is everyone else dead? I don't really remember Adolphe and Onko's, Capucine took Spacey away. I kept trying to stop her, but to no avail. I hit the metal bars over and over again, but after everyone had left, grasping the bars, I crumpled to the ground. It's all true. I hoped all this time that protecting her would make up for abandoning her in order to protect myself. But those intentions made Spacey cry. She went off on a path of self-destruction, all on her own. Why did this have to happen? The answer was obvious.
Very well. I will make this simple. You understand the despair she feels for causing misfortune and death. Yet you're content with playing the role of a knight, doing nothing to change the status quo. A useless man disguised as a protector.
I can't remember the voice we were giving Onko. I know it was different than the voice we gave in the other games, but I can't quite remember the one we were doing with him in this one. Everything Onko had to say. He gave me that lecture, yet even now, I continued only to try and protect her, never trying to walk alongside her. Capucine was right. I was just a disappointment. Aww. She even said herself she wanted to be beside me, too. If the one Spacey stood beside had been Eve or Onko, they probably wouldn't have made any mistakes in their words or actions toward her. Yeah, but you're just a little awkward and whatever. It's okay. Listen. I know a lot of people don't like Adolphe, and he's the lesser Onko because, they're the same person and, whatever. I still love Adolphe. He's imperfect, like all of them. But, you're like, oh, sweetie, it's okay. You just want to tousle his little hair. I still think he's adorable. Listen, none of them are Cyan. Let's be real. I like our mad scientist. He's a psychotic motherfucker, but goddamn is he hot. And 2 days after that, Spacey still hadn't returned to her cell. No matter how much I begged to see her, no one bothered to listen. After my wounds from the experiments had somehow completely healed, the situation finally changed. Out! Capucine's waiting in the laboratory. Unable to find any joy in being released, I exited the cell as commanded. Let me see Spacey. I glared at the guard as threateningly as I could, but he wasn't intimidated at all, knowing I was limited in my ability to fight back at the moment. Are you, though? Don't glare at me like that. You'll see her soon enough, so long as you cooperate. Really? Really, Mr. Guardman? I don't believe you. Maybe. My only option was to believe him and go with him obediently. I walked through the Institute, now eerily quiet. I'm gonna guess Cyan's fucking dead. Was this the ending where, Lucas killed everyone? Because, there was that end. I don't remember which one it was, but, Lucas was killing everybody. And he killed Hugo in the square. And, that, I think, might have been the Oncofe ending. So, and I'm pretty sure he killed Cyan, and I was like, why would you do that? Yeah. Again, I can't remember. They're all jumbled in my head, but one of them, Cyan definitely died in. Probably multiple, but I don't remember if that's the one, but I know he died in one of them, so I would assume everyone's dead, because otherwise, where's fucking everybody else? And where is Unka? What happened to him, technically? I don't remember, guys. I walked through the Institute. Oh, I already read that, sorry. Institute, eerily quiet. Capucine's in charge. Cyan has to be dead. Wasn't this there was one that, Cyan died, and Dahut scrambled away into the ductwork and got out. Maybe I'm mixing the two up, but I do remember Dahut scrambling into the ductwork. Did he get out? Is Liam okay? And arrived at the laboratory, which had remained unchanged in the past couple of days. Why would the laboratory change? I think they were going to put up new posters? Like a little cat hanging off a branch they can hang in there? Spacey was nowhere in sight. In her place was... Hello there. How are you feeling, second drifter? I forced quite the burden on your body and your experiments from the other day. I was worried you might have gone and died. Like you care. Even in this moment, I had to suppress the urge to lunge at him. Where's Spacey? If anything happened to her, I swear I'll kill you, even if it kills me. Don't worry. Her life is far from endangered. She hasn't a single scratch on her. That said, she's tired from these taxing experiments. She's resting in another room. Take me to her right now. After your experiments are over with. I told you, remember, that I'd treat both of you equally. I had no choice but to endure this. My concern for Spacey won over my own safety. And I continued to endure the pain of my flesh being torn apart. What kind of experiments are you doing? The kind of experiments I'd like to do on Capucine, to be fair. Slicing him open, seeing how long it takes him to bleed out. Yeah. I guess I had lost consciousness, though I wasn't surprised. I woke up to my body feeling numb all over. The walls I saw were unfamiliar to me. I guess I was taken to another room while I was passed out. I realized I was sitting in the corner of a room, likely tossed and left here. I tried lifting my arm and blood started seeping heavily through the openings of my wounds. But still the first thing that came to mind was her face. Spacey. Enduring the pain, I pushed myself up as I spoke the name of the person I wanted to see most, as if responding to my frail, cracking voice. There was a movement on a bed in the room. I looked over to see glistening blonde hair on the white bed. Spacey? I slowly dragged my aching body over to the bed. My worries just wouldn't stop. As my heart pounded in my chest, I slowly peered onto the bed. And Spacey, who was sleeping there, opened her eyes. Adolphe? Oh my god, what did he do to me? Holy shit. That's what happens when she's like got the super evil Lycoris poisoning or whatever. Remember when I was turning into one? That's what it looks like. Thank goodness you're all right. She desperately forced a smile that bloomed like a Lycoris, like the rest of them blooming across my skin. So he's definitely doing some shit. Probably killed some people while I was like this. Look at his face! He's tortured. Adolphe's face twisted violently when he saw my face. Even though I was sure he was glad to see that I was safe. Spacey, your body. What happened to it? Oh, I guess he noticed. It's kind of hard not to, girlfriend. I knew he'd be worried if he saw me like this. Enduring the pain that covered my entire body, I sat up and started explaining to him. In the future, I'll be buried with clones of myself as a new breed of Lycoris to fight against the toxins. Okay, stealing Cyan's idea. And this is to prepare for that process. That's the order given to Campesine by his supporter. Okay, so Dahut's still alive then. Was that Dahut's idea? I mean, it came up in Cyan's round. We gave credit, but It seems the markings on my skin are signs that the gene modification to strengthen my abilities is working. Why can't they just make clones of me and bury them and then, they have me and then, if they need more clones, oh my god, we need more clones, they can just make more clones off of me. You know what I mean? Why do I have to be buried with them? It seems... you know what I mean? It's just come on, this is silly. After the marks appeared on my skin, I found it hard to just breathe, possibly because I had been absorbing so many toxins. I knew my body was becoming a different organism. No. Why? Why are you going so far to protect me after I abandoned you to protect myself? There's no possible way I deserve that. You do. As he hugged me with regret, I hugged him back with the feeble strength I had. I feel like this feels like it's going to end super fast, and don't we have several chapters at least? Huh. Adolphe, you're an important part of my family. It's someone who's particularly special to me. You know what I mean? Because, we just started and, it's going to be a little while, but if we've already started this process, I feel like, are we going to, what the hell's going to happen here? For all the times you've protected me, I wanted to protect you this time. I could feel Adolphe trembling, but I can't compensate for all the experiments intended for you, so I don't think my struggle will be of much help. That's not true. I still have the strength to hold you, and that's proof that you were able to protect me. I'm not happy you had to sacrifice yourself, but I know what I've said is an undeniable fact. Thank you. We held each other in our arms for a quiet moment. Wow. When we last saw each other, I'm sorry for pushing you away. Don't worry about it. I'm the one who was trying to sacrifice myself instead of listening to what you wanted. Just like you wished back then. I should have said I wanted all three of us, including Unko, to be saved. Yes. Pain spread from the parts of my body Adolphe touched. Even so, I wished he would keep holding me like this forever. I wanted to feel proof that he was alive. But that momentary bit of happiness... that momentary bit of happiness was ruined because this bitch showed up. Hello, you two. I hope you're enjoying your reunion. This motherfucker. was interrupted by the Institute's current owner.
They say a strong will is correlated with vitality. I prepared this moment for you two to reunite so you wouldn't die prematurely. But time's about up now. You'll both be participating in the next experiment.
Adolphe stood in front of me, but it was pointless with the royal guard and Capucine's follower brandishing weapons back at him. Adolphe, if we were going to be killed for resisting, we should obey his orders for now. That was what I tried to communicate to Adolphe with my eyes. Yeah, but then if we're killed, he can't use my body to create the He's not going to kill me. He might kill Adolphe, but Adolphe relaxed and obeyed their directions. Ow! You're an asshole! Fuck you! That was hard, you bastard! There's one thing to bite, but there's another thing to fucking almost make me bleed. You're a little bitch. No, I don't like you right now. I'm gonna get you a break because you're being a fidgety little cunt, but goddamn, bird. Fucking don't appreciate that. You do that one more fucking time and you're getting chucked downstairs. He wanted me to pet him, and then instead sometimes he gets that way when he'll bite, but it's like, ow, it's a bite. That was really fucking sharp. You're kind of an asshole. Kind of don't like you right now. I don't want you. I want to take you and chuck you downstairs. But I can't, because you won't go downstairs. You'll just fly back upstairs, because you're a big fat jerk. But you're mean. I don't like you. I always love you, but I don't like your attitude. I always have to clarify that, because there are times I'm like, I don't like you right now. And it's like, I always love you. I will always love you. Even when you're being a big fat asshole, but I don't have to like your attitude. Your attitude is what I don't like. Now, don't you scream back at me. Don't you scream back at me. I'll bite you back. I say that to him all the time. When he bites me, I'm like, I'll bite you back. And it was fucking hilarious because at my sister's house for Christmas, he was sitting on my niece and he was getting all nippy with her. She's like, you bite me, I'll bite you back. And I was like, see? Other people will threaten to bite you back too. Just thought it was so cute because she's like, I'm like, see, she would have bit you back. She'd have bit you back. Because you're a big fat jerk. And you were attacking her hair. I don't know what it is about her. He would he'd go sit on her and attack her. He did that to my sister too. He's attacking her hair. She's a big fat jerk. You are very mean. You sit on people and then you attack them. He kept attacking my sister's head. She'd be sitting on the couch and he'd go lunging at her hair. And I'm like, I don't know. He really hated something in her, about her hair. You didn't like the redheaded girl? My sister has natural red hair. Maybe he was like, this redheaded weirdo. Sorry if you have red hair. Not dyed. That wouldn't be a problem. I've dyed my hair red before, but she has natural red hairs. She's like a weirdo. I'm kidding. All poor people with natural red hair are like, that's so mean. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I only make fun of my sister. But yeah, he was really nasty. He's just really mean to peoples. You're just very mean to peoples. And then you also don't know how to chill out. When we had cheesecake, you were running all over like a crazy bird. Oh my God. I had to throw him in his cage because he's running up and down my arm and hanging off and jumping over and going after everybody. I'm like, oh my God. It's like he was on fucking crack and he was looking for a fake. It was just psychotic. The bird's insane. Anyway. Adolphe relaxed and obeyed their directions. Yeah, you need to simmer down. You jerk. You know where your potty spot is if you wanted to go. I didn't have to get up, because it's cold up here. The royal guard wore a heavy helmet, while the society's followers hid their face behind cloths. They tied us with ropes and took us into the laboratory. First, I will examine Spacey's condition and add anything necessary for her abilities. What? She's already so weak and you're still gonna hurt her? These are necessary measures. Even I find it painful to have to drain the vitality of the princess of the Lycoris. But it would be pointless for her to die before my goal of immortality is achieved. She'll naturally be prioritized before you. Why, you... The society follower and royal guard quickly held down Adolphe as he was about to lunge forward. Be sure to hold him so he doesn't do anything rash. Sir! Let me go! Spacey! Adolphe, as he was carried off by the royal guard, will be all right. Although speaking so weakly probably wasn't very convincing. After I was moved to the center of the laboratory, the membrane of the capsule enveloped me.
And now then, the third experiment will...
Wait! Stop! Campesine operated a stone slate at his hands, about to force me to endure new levels of pain. Suddenly, a light, different from that of the system screens, flooded my sight. That light was from the glint of a blade, ready to slice off its target's flesh. Who's here to save us? Who's here to save us? I fell from the destroyed capsule and was about to hit the ground hard. But before I could realize what was happening, someone caught me in their arms. What the... You! What do you think you're doing? Those arms belonged to the young man whose face was covered in a cloth. He was likely the one who struck the capsule as well. Ooh, infiltrating! Good! Nice! Lucas? Because I don't think he's dead in this one. Who are... The young man gave a kind smile that only I could see. Who's saying, Adolphe! And with a confident and elegant voice, called out the name of my brother. Oh, that was whoever it was. Okay. I don't know who it is, but I'm assuming it might be Lucas. Because, like, who else could bust in here? Eve might be alive and he would be able to do it. Adolphe understood everything right in that moment. Adolphe tackled the Royal Guard soldier, holding him back, forcing him to fall over. Honestly, with the smile and everything like that, it's probably Eve. But it could also be Lucas. I'd put my bet on either one of those. Using that opening, he ran as fast as he could to the follower who was carrying me. The follower used his blade to cut through the rope that bound my wrist. If he's not using a halberd, it's probably Eve. I never thought you'd be planning something so bold. But I guess it's something you would do. The young man gave a smirk at Adolphe's remark. That smile... Are you? Eve? Okay, yeah.
You got it. Sorry I was so late in coming to get you two.
The voice I heard was that of my dear friend. Ugh! When did you sneak into the Institute? Upon hearing his voice, Capucine's expression changed from confident to shocked. However, he stayed calm, his hand reaching for the screen. Lock down the Institute. There's no point in this impudent fool's plan if no one can get out. I'm not sure who's saying this because now it's a question mark. Is that all the strength your security has? I don't think there's much point with him there. What? Just as Capucine heard the confident and brash voice that came from his hand, the entrance to the laboratory was torn open in an instant. Hey, I wasn't totally wrong when I was Lucas. Eve? It's Eve or Lucas. It's Eve and Lucas. Look at that. Ow, bird. Get downstairs. No, go downstairs. Go. No. Get downstairs. Go. He just bit my fucking face. Like, no, we don't fucking bite. And then he was like flying around crazy because he couldn't figure out the way downstairs. He's downstairs now. Like, I'm not dealing with that bullshit. No, I don't care. You're being an asshole. You could sit in the fucking dark. Because it's unfortunately 5 o'clock, so it's still light out. It's a little dusky down there, but it's not dark. But, like, he could fucking sit in the damn dark. He's a big fat fucking asshole. He's just sitting here and he just bit my chin. Like, no, I'm not dealing with his assholery right now. He's being a very rude, bitchy bird. You're being very rude and mean. We don't like it. You get to go downstairs by your damn self. Jackass. Welcome back. God. And the one who jumped inside was Boro. Lucas. Lucas, you're alive? You dare defy me? Do you not care what might happen to Nadia? What if I told you I was prepared for that? What? If Nadia will be put in danger regardless of what I decide, then I'll bet on the possibility that might save her future as well. Unlike you, the man who calls himself a god told me very clearly that he would save... Unlike you, the man who calls himself a god told me very clearly he would save Nadia. Wait, is Science still alive somewhere else? The other The other followers and Royal Guard members that had gathered fell back in fear at the appearance of the new, overwhelming threat. Now, you three. After Lucas saw that I was safe, he pointed toward the exit he made as he kept the surrounding threat away from us. Got it. We'll regroup with you later. And you're going to explain your situation. They're like, how about you explain yours, Adolphe? Jesus. Eve was still carrying me as we exited the laboratory with Adolphe guarding us. Why haven't we not seen Eve at all? Like, we saw Lucas, but we haven't seen Eve at all. As I expected, boisterous alarms were going off, signaling the presence of the infiltrators. However, we were able to get to the maze of hallways before anyone could catch up to us. There he is! That's better. These clothes were hard to move in. Oh, those clothes, sorry. With the time we bought for ourselves, Eve took off all the clothes he had used for his disguise and tossed them into the hallway. Now he's just running around naked. He was wearing clothes on top of clothes. That's a lot of layers. He then picked me back up and was about to head further down the hallway, but... Wait, Eve! Anko's still in the Institute, in Cyan's office. We have to save him! Eve reacted very clearly to the name. I managed to explain through burning lips my relationship with Anko and the escape plan Dahut had left us. Even though we had met Anko only once. The escape plan Dahut left us, but Dahut's still supporting Capucine. It's very interesting. Because he was Capucine's supporter, right? So, like, is he like... He's like, I'm giving him things, and I'm doing... And whatever happens, happens. I'm just gonna puppeteer this shit. Like, he's just sitting back like, haha, this will be interesting either way. Got it. Leave him to me. Adolphe, I know you're pretty wounded too, but can I leave her with you? Eve, wait. Well, yeah, I'm gonna get him alone. Now you two go on ahead and rejoin the others. Others? Eve handed me to Adolphe, then turned his back to us. Eve, wait! You can't go alone! It's too dangerous! Take this. I have a fluffy cat. That was dangerous from the start. I broke in here knowing the risks, so we'll be alright. You better fucking be. Looking at your skin, you'd better have Cyan examine you as soon as possible. So Cyan's not dead, I'm so excited. Look, I know it's Adolphe's route, but like, okay, Cyan excites me no matter where the fuck he is. So, he's alive. Yay! Of course I am. And I'd survive from enough to be able to kill me. There he is! Look at my precious prince. I almost called him my precious princess, but same difference. Whatever. I'm, like, I know it's a doll face route. I know, but, like, I can't help it. Look at my beautiful bitch. The voice I heard was one filled with confidence and vitality. After previously hearing of his death, I felt relief from the bottom of my heart that he was alright. Right? I was like, did he die in this one? Because I feel like he died. But then again, the original ending he might have. I mean, who knows? But I'm so glad you're safe, Cyan. Is Mathis safe too? Yes, I'm sorry to worry you. I made it out somehow. I'll be coming to get you all, so please stay safe until then. Oh, we're hearing them. Okay, they're not really there. You'll come to get us. How? The front gates are swarmed with the Royal Guard and Society followers. I hadn't noticed until now, but far beneath the Institute are tunnels that were built in a network across the country. If you go through those tunnels, you should be able to get to the Claude's disgusting laboratory where we are right now. Poor Mathis. He's like a disgusting laboratory. All right, but Eve, are you really going to... Yeah, I'm going. There's plenty I want to talk to Anko about, too. He gave me such a gentle smile that it was hard to believe we were being chased right at this moment, right? I know we're having a happy reunion. I love this. Why is this so happy right now? Everyone is going to die and it's going to be tragic. Let's all meet up again later. We gotta work out a plan to take back the Institute after all. And Eve and Lucas can't die here because then they die off screen and that wouldn't count. You have to die brutally in front of me. He pushed his transmitter to Adolphe and grabbed Dahut's lock of hair from me before running off. Eve! After hesitating for a moment, Eve will be fine. Before we get caught standing around here, let's go, Spacey. Right. Adolphe was right. As injured as we both were, all we could do now was run. Believing Eve would make it back, Adolphe followed Cyan's instructions, heading toward the tunnels underneath the Institute. Cyan led us down to a quiet wing of the Institute. We discovered a hidden entrance beneath the floor with a ladder leading us deep below the Institute. I went down the ladder, making sure we didn't slip and fall, and found that the air felt damp and cold. We found ourselves in a narrow passage with strange colored water flowing at our feet. What the? I never knew such an underground passage existed beneath Arpachel.
It was apparently built hundreds of years ago as an emergency escape route from the castle. It seems a certain man encouraged the royal family to spend decades rebuilding it.
The air's stagnant here. I'm sure it'll be hard on Spacey if we're here for too long. Adolphe seemed to feel some truth in Cyan's explanation and picked me up again. I'm gonna run through these tunnels. Can you handle that? Yeah. To be honest, pain radiated through my entire body with each step he took. But I knew I couldn't complain right now, while everyone was trying to save us. We're almost there, so hang on tight. As we held on to each other tightly, Adolphe continued running through the tunnel. Fighting the current of water flowing against his feet, Adolphe followed Cyan's instructions through the canal. During that time, we exchanged all the information we had. Eve's mission, my innate abilities, and the source of the curse being toxins that contaminated the soil. How Bora was actually Lucas. The memory crash that occurred when someone experienced strong love. How Campesine was the one who inspired the royal family to take action. Their past crimes and current objective. And about Anko possessing a mysterious power of immortality. We also let everyone know that Adolphe was actually the second person from the outside world. There might be more, but they hidin'. Wow, it almost feels like I'm listening to a fairy tale. Yeah, a very fucked up one, Matt. Simmer down. He's like, this sounds amazing. Yeah, if there were happy endings. I mean, there are, like now. But, like, most of it's kind of tragic. And even the happy endings are happy? Question mark. Okay, to be fair, the emotion ones, I think we've gotten decent, actual happy endings. But the real game and are kind of not. Even the happy ones are like, I'm okay. Bittersweet. Mathis is all excited about this fucking trauma dump.
If I got a blood sample from you before that wretch, I could have worked a miracle.
As he clicked his tongue, Cyan liberally shared with us what information he had. Oh, look how fucking gorgeous he is when he's pissy. How the headquarters of True Culprit behind all the recent events? How the headquarters of the true culprit behind all the recent events was at the end of this tunnel. Okay, but Jean isn't the true culprit. That the place he was in right now was the illegal laboratory prepared by the one behind the missing prostitutes, Camille. Yes. Or rather, Jean, who did it all in order to revive his lover. Yes. But he's not the true culprit behind everything. Because there's a lot of moving pieces here and a lot of people behind a lot of things. Jean was the one behind the missing people. The murderer who killed the prostitutes. And Lucas was the one who was Boro, who was killing a bunch of reliver. Like, you know what I mean? There was a lot of people killing a lot of things. So let's not... Listen, poor Jean. I can't think of a reason to doubt that accusation at this point. But if we're to believe you, where is he right now? Well, we actually don't know. Mathis continued the conversation, seemingly headed toward us. After we escaped back to the mansion, we learned of his crimes after discovering this basement. And after negotiating with Boro, or Lucas, who came to the mansion, we got him to help us. But Lucas said that he didn't kill Jean.
He's either been deemed useless and killed by this supporter or locked up elsewhere. Well, he's not particularly important compared to you two, so I suppose your escape takes priority.
Poor Mathis. See, Mathis? That's why, like, wow, I feel like I'm listening to a fairy tale. Smack! Your brother's not important enough to save. Aww. Well, you thought he was your butler, but he's kind of your butler brother dad. Weird. Mathis must have mixed feelings about Jean's crimes and his current whereabouts since he fell silent. But that's what he gets for being like, this sounds like a fairy tale, and you were excited about it, and now science bitch slapped you in the face with reality. So the reason why Eve looked like he was dead was because he had Onko's blood all over him. Right. I'm so glad everyone's all right. Just as I was about to thank them both, I could sense the Lycoris blooming within my own body and coughed violently into Adolphe's arms. Spacey! That's enough information sharing. Get moving before my precious specimen dies. He can call me whatever he wants. You don't have to tell me. Just hang in there a while longer. Right. Desperately trying to stop myself from coughing up blood, I continued with Adolphe through the tunnels, following Cyan's directions. And perfect timing. We're still in the tunnels. We're gonna finish our walk through the tunnels, I hope, in the next part, because I hope it's not another hour in the tunnels. But anyway, we'll get there and see everyone, and it'll be a happy reunion, and everyone's alive! I'm pretty sure Hugo's actually dead, though. Like, I still think that was I don't know, but I'm gonna well, Hugo died a lot, and he could have just because he's in love with Eve, and then his heart exploded. So his heart either exploded, or it was that scene where he died in the plaza because Lucas killed all the relivers, and we thought Eve was dead, but he wasn't, and we thought everyone else, okay, but like Hugo's probably actually dead, so whatever. But everybody else is alive? Question mark. Who are we missing? Well, Onko, but we're going to go save him, and we got our other boyfriends, right? Am I missing someone? I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.